50 Shades Darker of Mr. Grey, Part 2. "What are your plans today?" he inquired. "Well, I need a haircut, to cash your check for the sale of my car, and finally, I must buy a new car," I answered. "Well, actually, the Audi I bought you is now parked in front of your apartment," he said cautiously. I was so upset with his renewed interference that I ripped up his check in retaliation. "The money is yours, and it will be deposited in your bank account in the morning. Don't play games with me, Anastasia." "How do you know my bank account?" "I know everything about you," he explained. "Why do you keep defying me, Anastasia?" "Because I can," I challenged him, while feeling the tension build inside me. "You are a trying woman, and you make me mad in every way," I replied. He'd taken me to a fancy beauty salon. "Will it be the usual, Mr. Grey?" inquired the blushing employee. No. Miss Steele will tell you what she wants," said Christian, embarrassed. "So I'm getting the submissive special? Is that it?" I asked. "No, it's not what you think, Anna. I brought you here because I own the salon and several others," he said before excusing himself for a minute. I asked the girl who it was that Christian was talking to. "Oh, that's Mrs. Elena Lincoln, the co-owner of the salon, along with Mr. Grey," she answered. So, Mrs. Robinson had a name. How dare he bring me here, of all places? "I'm sorry, I didn't know she'd be here. I just got a phone call. Layla's a problem again, so I need you safe at Escala for a while. Come." "No," I objected petulantly. "Anastasia, either you come or I carry you. You wouldn't dare." "Christian, put me down." "Okay, I'll walk," I screamed, humiliated. But as soon as I touched down, I dashed to my apartment just a few streets down. I was upset and couldn't take it anymore. He's carrying me like an errant child. Mrs. Robinson, his lunatic ex-sub, he's buying SIP and having access to my bank account. He catches me in no time, and then I realize that he is unusually worried. "Listen, Anna, my security team informed me that Layla carries a gun. I can't have you in danger." "But what if this deranged girl is also after Christian?" I mused. Back at Escala, I inspected the clothes he'd left for me. All were ridiculously expensive. I decided to call home. "Mom, what am I gonna do? I think he's nuts." "Anastasia, I've had 3 husbands, so I'm no reference to make a judgment." "There you are. I thought you'd ran away again." "Christian, why me? I mean, you could have any submissive you want. And I'm not even the obedient type, so why me?" I asked, trying to make sense of his interest in me. "Anastasia, you make me see the world differently. You make me hope that I could have a normal relationship, because you just don't obey me. But most of all, you're like a siren call that I just can't resist." "Are you still mad at me?" "Yes, because you have completely invaded my privacy. You got access to my bank account." Anastasia, I don't want to lose you again. Don't run away, and please have a little faith and patience with me, because I'm really trying here, he pleaded. Okay, I whispered. Good. The hairdresser is waiting, he announced. Later in his office, he hands me the file he had on me. Oh, you know I worked at Clayton's, so our meeting there was no coincidence? No, he admitted guiltily. I love the fact that you don't care how rich I am. But Anastasia, you have no clue how wealthy I am, do you? No, I admit. I make about $100,000 per hour. I want to give you the world, Anastasia. But I just want you, Christian. Not all the complications that add on, I argued. They are part of who I am, he added gently. Went to my room at Escalation and decided to do some research on personality disorder. Yes, my 50 Shades of Fucked Up fits the bill perfectly, I mused. So, any conclusion with your research, he smirked? Yes, you need therapy. You are my best treatment, Anna. And as a matter of fact, I really liked your roadmap idea. What do you mean? I asked, nonplussed. We'll use the lipstick to outline the no-go area, Anastasia. Inside those boundaries, I don't want you to touch me. Understood? Asked Christian Leary. Okay, I reassured him. I'll respect your boundaries, Christian, I promised him. This was such a huge step in our relationship, I thought. Now, I have a treasure map that I can freely explore. I'm so happy that you trust me with this, that I'd like to launch myself at you. Well, Miss Steele, I'm all yours, he smiles, holding his hands out in a gesture of consent. I'd like you to wear these tonight. They're called Benoit balls. They are for pleasure, and you will feel a sense of longing for me while you wear them. Let me insert them for you, Anastasia, he said naughtily. I looked at myself in the mirror and couldn't recognize the woman gazing at me. Anastasia, you look stunning. Please, accept these earrings. I wanted to give them to you and ask you for a second chance. Unfortunately, you left me last week before I could give them to you. Time to put your mask on, Anastasia, instructed Christian as we arrived at his parents' estate. Anastasia, it's me, Mia! So glad you came. Come and meet my friends. Hi, Christian, she greeted, excited. There are prizes to be auctioned, including a weekend in Aspen in a private estate owned by Christian. Another one is beauty treatments at Mrs. Robinson's spa. So, is she here? I see red just thinking about it. On impulse, I bid the money Christian gave me for my old car, which I can dispose of since it's mine. Sold for $24,000 to the lady in gray, said our host. Well, those silver balls are making me tense, I mused. Christian whispered to me, Miss Steele, I don't know if I should worship you or give you a good spanking for bidding on my own property. I probably deserve option 2. Come, Anastasia, it's time to go on stage for the auction for the ladies' first dance, announced Mia, full of excitement. I tried to object, but it was no use. Gentlemen, how much do you want to bid for the lovely Anastasia? Inquired our host. Jeez, this is embarrassing. I feel like I'm at the meat market. I hope Christian wins your dance, otherwise we may have a fight on our hands here, warned Mia. Oh? As a kid, he used to get into brawls all the time until he was 15 years old, explained Mia. The bidding started at $10,000, but soon it was clear that the man with the strange mask intended to challenge him. $100,000, said Christian loud and clear. Sold, concluded our host. Come, Anastasia, I want to show you something, and we only have a while before we need to show up for the auction dance. I followed him meekly to the main house. This is the first time I'm bringing a girl to my boyhood room, said Christian, embarrassed. I tried to imagine him as a rebellious adolescent until I saw a billboard full of mementos. Mr.Grey was well-traveled, even at a young age. Christian, who is this young woman on your board? She looks vaguely familiar. She's of no consequence, said Christian distractedly. Then why is she appearing with your other souvenirs? It's just an omission on my part, he replied curtly. I'd vowed I'd never spank you again, but you did say you deserved it. Do you really want this, Anna? Yes, I need this now, I replied, flushed. Promise me that you'll say word if you need to. Then I'll just make love to you, he reminded me. Okay, I promised. Miss Steele, I told you you'd have the first dance with me. You are an expensive dance partner, but you are worth every penny. The song is really befitting since I do have you under my skin, Miss Steele. Yes, literally a moment ago, Mr. Grey. Oh, Christian. I'd forgotten my purse when I was accosted by a woman. I'm glad I caught you alone, Anastasia. I need to talk to you, said Mrs. Lincoln, alias Mrs. Robinson. What does she want with me? Christian's in love with you. You must know that. But if you hurt him, if you leave him again like you did, you'll have to deal with me, warned the elder woman. How dare you! I'd like to give you a taste of the whip on behalf of the 15-year-old boy you molested, I spat at her. Don't let Elena come between us, Anastasia, admonished Christian. I told you, she's old news. Yes, old being the operative word here, I mumbled. Christian's father, Carrick, invited me to dance, so I took the opportunity to probe some information out of him about Christian's past. I remember like yesterday when my wife, Dr. Trevelyan, examined him in the hospital when he was brought in by the police. The boy was in bad shape. We decided to adopt him immediately. He didn't speak for 2 years, but playing the piano brought him out of his shell. And the arrival of Mia, of course. 50 Shades Darker of Mr. Grey, to be continued.